Welcome to this 35-minute yin yoga practice, focusing on the whole body. Just kind of chill out, connect back to the body. We're going to begin with a breathing exercise, so just closing the eyes here, sitting in a comfortable position, and then rolling the tongue. Imagine kind of making a taco shape with the tongue. And you're going to inhale through the curled tongue, exhale through the nostrils. Inhaling fully through the curled tongue, exhaling through the nostrils. So continue doing this at the pace of your breath. This is a cooling breath. As you're ready, releasing this breathing and taking a few moments to check in with how the body is feeling now. As you're ready, transitioning into our first pose. So coming to lay on your belly and then bringing the right arm out to your side. You can either bend the arm, elbow about in line with the shoulder, or extend it fully. And then begin to roll onto the outer right hip, keeping left hand under the shoulder. If you like, bending the knees here. And then breathing into that opening through the front of the shoulder, the chest. Continue breathing here, knowing that I'll be here to guide you back out when it's time. As you're ready, begin to transition out of this pose the way we came. So extending the legs, rolling back onto the belly. And then this time, left arm out to your side, either elbow in line with the shoulder or extending the arm. Right hand under the right shoulder as you roll onto the left hip, maybe bending the knees here. Breathing into any tightness as you create space through that left shoulder and chest. Utilizing the breath to carry you into and through the pose. knowing that I'll be here to guide you back out when it's time. As you're ready, transitioning back onto your belly and coming into either Sphinx position or seal. So if you're coming into Sphinx, placing the elbows under the shoulders, keeping the legs relaxed, and keeping the head in a neutral position. If you'd like, you could also rest forwards. If you're coming into seal, beginning on the forearms in Sphinx, and then from there, fully extending the arms, maybe walking the hands in towards the body, and checking in with that lower back. If there's any pinching here, then maybe you've gone too far, walking hands back out, finding that balance. Hands may turn in or out if you'd like, experimenting with that. And when you found your positioning, holding it there, breathing deeply into the belly, softening into the pose, knowing that I'll be here to guide you back out when it's time. So you're ready, lowering back all the way onto your belly, taking a counter pose here, resting arms by your sides, palms face up, and letting the legs completely relax, so heels out, toes slightly in, and coming onto one cheek. Just allowing the whole body to feel supported by the mat here, allowing the body to completely relax and melt into the mat. Knowing that I'll be here to guide you out of the pose when it's time. And staying in this pose, just switching the head to rest on the opposite cheek to even out the stretch in the side of the neck. Continue bringing awareness to the breath, melting into the mat beneath you. As you're ready, bringing hands under the shoulders, pressing yourself up to tabletop, transitioning into dragon. So stepping that right foot forward to the outside of the right hand, planting those hands to the inside of the leg, maybe opening up that right foot like a book, so sole of the foot opening. And then you can either stay there, resting the head and neck down, or if it's accessible to you, maybe coming down to the forearms, breathing into any tightness through the inner legs, the hip, the groin. And continue bringing awareness to the breath here, softening the body, softening the face, knowing that I'll be here to guide you back out when it's time. next inhale, begin to walk the hands back up if they're down, closing that foot if it's open, and then heel toe the foot to the center of the mat between the hands, shifting that back foot so that it's about in the center of the mat, so that as you come back, the heel is sitting in between the body. And then resting the body forward, rounding through the back body, keeping a slight bend through that right leg, completely resting the head and neck down, palms facing up, shoulders rounding forwards. Breathing into any tightness through the back body, the hamstring. If there's too much pressure in that left knee, you can always come completely seated on the mat and then bring the left foot, sole of the foot, to the right inner thigh, right leg extended, folding forward from there rather than sitting on that foot. Finding what works best for your body. I'll be here to guide you back out when it's time. Settling deeper into this pose. On an inhale, gently begin to walk the hands back in here as you roll the spine up. As you come up, maybe flexing that foot and kind of windshield wipering it side to side, rolling the ankle in either direction. And then coming back onto all fours, coming into dragon pose on the opposite side, stepping left foot to the outside of the left hand, sinking down into your lunge here, creating space between the legs. Maybe rolling onto the outside of that left foot, opening up the foot, opening up through the groin. And then either staying up on the hands, head and neck relaxed, or maybe coming down to the forearms, unclenching the jaw. Breathing into any tension through the hip flexor, the back of the leg, the groin, the inner thighs. Breathing into the posture. With each exhale, letting go, softening a little bit more, knowing that I'll be here to guide you back out. On your next inhale, begin to walk the hands back in, closing that foot if it's open, and heel toe the foot to the center of the mat, shifting that back foot so that when you sink back, the heel is coming between the body, finding a seat there, and then walking the hands forward as you round the upper body forward over that leg, forehead resting towards the knee. Breathing into the back body, the back hamstring. With each inhale, filling the belly, the side body, and the back body completely. And as you exhale, sinking a little bit deeper, softening here. Knowing that I'll be here to guide you back out when it's time. On your next inhale, begin to walk those hands back into the body, head and neck coming up last. And then once again, flexing that foot, maybe windshield wipering it side to side, rolling the ankle in either direction. And then walking hands forward, this time coming into our yogi squat. So opening up that foot, stepping opposite foot to the other side of the mat. Creating space here, hands coming to the heart center, palms together. And then playing around just for a moment the difference between tensing the hips and the buttocks here and then relaxing into the pose. So noticing that difference between tension and relaxation. And then fully allowing the body to soften and let go. Rounding the upper body forward, palms face up, head and neck resting forwards. Unclenching the jaw, closing the eyes, breathing into the back body. If you notice that the heels are up here, you can always place a folded blanket under them for as much support as you can get. Continue breathing into this pose, knowing that I'll be here to guide you back out. As you feel ready to transition, slowly rolling the head and neck back up, carefully making your way to seated, hands behind you, and then windshield wiping the legs side to side, releasing the hips here, chest open. Feeling into the space that you've created for yourself. As you're ready, coming to lie completely on your mat, opening the chest from all those forward folds, arms overhead, and then walking feet over to the right side of the mat, maybe crossing left ankle over the right, shimmying the shoulders over to the right, and then maybe holding the right hand to the left wrist to deepen that stretch just a little bit. Breathing into the side body and the chest. Shoulders relax to the mat. If you notice the elbows straining here, widening that stance between the hands so that the arms can relax towards the mat. Continue breathing into and through the pose. As you're ready, on an inhale, bringing that upper body back to center. Walking the feet all the way to center and then to the left side of the mat, maybe crossing right ankle over the left. Grabbing hold of the opposite wrist and then shimmying those shoulders and the upper body over to the side. Keeping hips and shoulders firmly planted into the mat. Breathing into the right side body, opening up here, allowing the chest to open, allowing yourself to feel supported here with each exhale, relaxing deeper into the mat. On an inhale, as you're ready, shimmy that upper body back to the center of the mat, walking feet back to center, and then bending both knees, feet firmly planted on the mat, crossing left leg over the right, drawing the knees into the body, and if you can, holding onto the ankles, imagine opening the legs out to either side of the mat, drawing shoulders towards the mat, breathing into that stretch through the outside of the hips, slightly tucking the chin, keeping the back of the neck nice and long if you can. Holding this pose for a little bit less time as it's a little bit more active. You might notice a little bit of heat building back in the body. Breathing into the stretch here. And on an exhale, releasing, finding relief for a moment, finding that coolness again. And then changing across the legs, hugging knees into the chest if you can, holding onto either ankle. Imagine opening them to either side of the mat, and deepening that stretch through the outside of the hips, shoulders towards the mat, finding length through the back of the neck. Taking full belly breaths, breathing into any heat that's building in the body, exhaling completely, cooling the body back down. And on an exhale, releasing back out of this pose and transitioning into Shavasana. If you like, making any other movements that you need to take for your body today. And then joining in Shavasana, legs extended, arms by your sides, palms face up. Allowing the eyes to close and taking a deep breath in through the nose. Completely exhaling. On your next inhale, picturing the number 3. As you exhale, watching the 3 dissolve. Allowing the body to relax a little bit deeper into the mat. Letting the legs relax, arms relax, shoulders relax. On your next inhale, picturing the number 2. As you exhale, watching the 2 dissolve, allowing the face to relax. Unclenching the jaw, keeping the mouth together. Letting the eyelids become heavy, resting the space between the brows. On your next inhale, picturing the number 1. As you exhale, watching the 1 dissolve, allowing the mind to quiet back down. I'll leave you here, taking as long as you'd like in Shavasana today. Namaste.